All right, folks, going to be going live here in about 30 seconds or so. Facebook and YouTube, as well as alienxradio.com and all of the fine affiliates. All right, folks, getting prepared.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Getting your work week started right by stretching out your vagina holes with the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. You are now beamed aboard, and you are inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I'm your host, Alien Stone. You may or may not notice that last week we had no video feed on Facebook or YouTube. That's because apparently the coronavirus made its way into my laptop and destroyed it from the inside out. So today I grabbed one of my older laptops, and I got up really early today, and I installed all the software, so I believe I'm broadcasting live right now. Whether or not the voice is lining up with the video, whether or not it's choppy, I don't know. Because, like I said, it took me months to get the other computer dialed in right to where it worked properly. It died. Now I started with an older computer, so it's already challenging. So if the voices don't line up, let me know in the chat, and I'll be messing with that, trying to offset it. And let me know. Is my voice behind what you see, or is it ahead of what you see? Let me know, please. All right, so anyway, coming up on the show today, we are going to do a review of Just a Few Questions that occurred yesterday. It was an amazing episode of Just a Few Questions. It's called Quarantined, of course. During Inside the Mothership, which airs at 12 noon Eastern, right here on all these stations you're listening to live right now, D-Unit, which is my co-host, had a bit of a fever yesterday. What? Yes, he had a fever. So sniffles, I'm not worried. Coughing, I'm not worried. He's not worried. But when there's a fever, no matter what it is that you have, at that point you can be contagious. So just to be safe, D-Unit had self-quarantined himself during the show yesterday. So he called in for Just a Few Questions. Now, that being said, KP Ross, he was in studio hanging out, and he was here for Just a Few Questions. And, of course, Mad Martin from UG Media in the UK. So it was an amazing episode of Just a Few Questions. It's called Quarantined. And basically, it's just the craziness that is already happening, just with a little funny twist on it. You know what I'm saying? I know. It's not funny, Alien Stone. It's got to be. You have to laugh. You have to laugh. Otherwise, we're going to go insane. Anyway, that'll be coming up, as well as news, sports, a bunch of stupid things I'm going to be talking about, lots of music for your vajir holes, and, of course, let's start things the way we always do. It is March 23rd.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
Let's take a look at this day in history.
March 23rd, 1775. A famous call for American independence from Britain. Patrick Henry tells the Virginia Provincial Convention, "Give me liberty or give me death." The American Revolution begins just weeks later. 1933. Germany's parliament, the Reichstag, effectively gives dictatorial powers to Adolf Hitler. More than a dozen years later, Hitler's rule ends in the wake of World War II and the Holocaust. 1983. President Ronald Reagan proposes developing technology to intercept nuclear missiles, a plan that critics dub Star Wars.
I call upon the scientific community in our country, those who gave us nuclear weapons, to turn their great talents now to the cause of mankind and world peace, to give us the means of rendering these nuclear weapons impotent and obsolete.
2001. Russia's orbiting Mir space station ends its 15-year odyssey with a fiery plunge into the South Pacific. And 1998. The disaster epic Titanic wins 11 Oscars, tying the record for the most Academy Award wins. The other films that share that honor, Ben-Hur and The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Today in history, March 23rd. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
All right, people are telling me there's a bit of an offset here on the video, so it's going to take me a little while to adjust this. I just tried a couple of things. Whether or not it's going to make the audio lineup, I have no idea. So please keep watching and keep me informed. I just made a little adjustment there. Let me know if it's closer, if my voice is still behind the video, or if I'm getting close. Just come on, let me know. So anyway, like I said, everything is coming up on the show today, as well as the Alien X lines are open at 1-313-444-8919. Again, that's 1-313-444-8919. Them's the numbers. That's how you give me a call. And you can also jump into the chat room at alienxradio.com. Make sure that you also head on over to Facebook and find the Alien X Radio fan group. Make sure you join that so that we can keep you up to date on everything that is happening here inside the mothership and on the station. And also YouTube. Make sure that you like the Alien X Radio YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and find some music to stick directly into your vajir holes this morning. I'm thinking since everybody's all freaking out and scared out there, we'll play some music by a band called Fear. Irreverence is the name of the song. And it's the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
No, I don't dare. kids, when you're not watching my show, the Secretson Show presents, you should be listening to Alien X Radio. That's where I'm at right now, out in space somewhere. Alien X Radio.
313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Bus commercials, definitely.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Awesome.
Welcome back to the attack, everybody. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I'm your host, Alien Stone. And hey, like I said, just started up with I want to say a brand new computer, but it's actually an old computer to replace my newer computer that took a dump on me. And it would be the video computer. So now that I've set up this new computer, I'm trying to readjust the offset between the voice and the video. So anybody who's watching the video, I'm asking you to help me out, and please text and comment in the sections below here and let me know how close is the video to matching my voice. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I ahead? Am I behind? Let me know so I can make another adjustment. All right, that being said, let's get back to some radio. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing today anyway. I do know that the world has gone absolutely crazy. And while these numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm talking about the infected, and I'm talking about the people that are getting sick, and yes, in fact, the people that are dying. Okay, while the numbers are growing and getting bigger, we have to still, try to keep. First off, keep calm. Okay, and a lot of you are not. You're not keeping calm. If you're at the grocery store with 2 baskets filled, overflowing with toilet paper, you are not keeping calm. Okay, calm down. Is that your biggest worry, really? That over the course of the next, year, you might not be able to get a hold of toilet paper, so you need enough for a year? A year's worth of toilet paper, really. I think I pointed out before that humans have existed for a very, very, very long time before the invention of toilet paper. So there's ways around that, I know there's disposable diapers for children, for babies, and also before those were invented, there was other ways. They were called diapers that you washed. Yeah, they were cloth diapers. They were actually washable things. So yes, there are some people even today, right now, as we speak right now, even if they could get toilet paper, choose not to. There are some people that actually intentionally purchase a certain number of washcloths, soft washcloths, of course, and those are stacked up next to the toilet, and they would use those to wipe with, and then those would eventually get cleaned, washed, and then brought back in and stacked once again. This sounds barbaric, disgusting, and gross. Yes, it does. But guess what? If you run out of toilet paper, it still works. And it's better than running around with your butt cheeks stuck together from crust. All right? It's also better than, you can't come over and stay. The guest room is full of what? Toilet paper. That's stupid. Okay? You've gone too far. So, that being said, I wonder, there's a lot of places that have curbside service now. How many places are going to be bringing your toilet paper out to your vehicle? That's funny, right? I had mine delivered by Amazon, though. Thank you, Amazon, for bringing me my stuff. Okay, because I needed my stuff. Now, curbside service, here's something that has popped up for all of you stoners out there that have your medical marijuana card. The dispensaries that you've been getting your marijuana from may close their doors, and because they are not an essential service. However, that just means that nobody can go inside, gather, and shop. That's what that means. What you can do, and most of them are offering this now, is you can call ahead, tell them what it is in the shop that you are needing to purchase. They will, of course, confirm your name because you have to be still a patient. You still have to have a card. Okay, and then when you show up, you present them with all of your information, your card and everything. Once that all checks out, then they, of course, do the transaction at your car, curbside. So it's like back in the day when it was Ray Ray, except now it's legal. Okay? Just saying. Ray Ray's out of business. Ray Ray's going to have to deliver. That's all I'm saying. Which, by the way, they're doing that as well. You know, the state of Michigan, anyway. The state of Michigan has all kinds of new licenses available, and one of them allows dispensaries to deliver the products to people, which is that's an amazing thing. Think about that. You know, you don't have the person that you're worried about. Okay, the people that don't like the whole marijuana thing. Okay, so the person that you don't want driving on the road is now not driving on the road. Okay, the delivery driver's bringing it. Okay, does that make you a little bit happier? No, it doesn't, because you're just perpetually crabby. I understand. The perpetual crabbiness of the world around us. I know, I'm sucked into it too. I'm perpetually crabby all the time. So, anyway, curbside marijuana service. All of your fast food restaurants, they're still open, of course. Drive-thrus, they've been killing it. Pizzerias are extra killing it. They were already killing it, you know, all the deliveries that they make. I mean, nobody goes into these pizzerias and eats in the pizzeria, okay? And if you did, some of these places got like 2 tables. You just feel uncomfortable in there. Most people don't. So everything is pickup or delivery for pizza. So now all the people that don't normally get pizza and fast food and takeout are. So these places are killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And they can pretend, you know, and reap the benefits. Say, oh, yeah, well, you know, this happened because of Corona, you know, blah, blah. You are not affected like everyone else, sir. You're making your money plenty. Making your plenty money. Anyway, let's go ahead and put some music into your Vajir holes. I'm going to go way back in time here. Way back in time. To the beginning of Alien X Radio, one of the first bands that ever graced our airwaves with their presence was a band called Once an Empire. It's for the life of me, it's slipping my mind. I'm not really sure where they're from. I want to say California, but I don't think that is correct. But I want to say that anyway, so I'm going to say it. How about that? They're from California. I doubt it. Satellites is the name of the tune, and you're listening to the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Satellites by Once an Empire on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Again, I am your host, Alien Stone, and we've reached that point. That's right. It's just about time for our first break. Pause the action for station identification and a moment to introduce you to our sponsors, like our brand spanking new sponsor, Freedom Heating and Cooling. Get a hold of Eric at 313-920-2325 or Dave at 248-345-8196. You can email him at freedomheatcool@gmail.com. Check him out at Facebook at Facebook Freedom Heat Cool. That's Freedom Heating and Cooling, our brand spanking new sponsor. And they'll be staying in service for your service calls throughout this entire whatever you call it, this quarantined world that we're living in at this moment. They will be available to come out if you're having any problems with your heating, your air conditioning, whatever it is. Oh my gosh, I hope that you're not having a problem with your air conditioning and this is still going on, okay? Because that would be a couple months off at least. Wow. Didn't even think about that. Anyway, it is time to take that short break. We will have some punchlines when we come back. We're going to be talking about some of the businesses that are thriving through all of this pandemonium that's going on out there. And some of the things that we can imagine. Let's think some businesses that probably shouldn't but could keep operating with just a few adjustments. Sports, news, and much, much more all still on the way. And music for your ear holes as well as your calls. Right here inside the mothership for the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Broadcasting to you live on alienxradio.com. Raw Talk Online, UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
News update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Dave Mattingly. The Senate will try again today to advance an economic aid package in response to the coronavirus. Democrats blocked a procedural vote on the proposal yesterday, saying they want changes made. NPR's Kelsey Snell says the stimulus package will likely be well over $1 trillion before it clears Congress.
Senate Democrats blocked the measure intended to set up a Monday afternoon vote on an unfinished coronavirus response bill. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Democrats were unwilling to vote to move ahead without significant changes, including expansions to unemployment insurance and greater restrictions on loans for large corporations.
We're closer than we've been at any time over the past 48 hours to an agreement. But there are still too many problems in the proposed legislation.
The bill was estimated earlier at more than $1 trillion, a figure that would likely grow if all of the Democrats' provisions are included. Kelsey Snell, NPR News, Washington.
The holdup of an economic aid package in the Senate is weighing on Wall Street. Dow and S&P futures are down more than 4% this morning. NPR's Windsor Johnston says this is also the day the New York Stock Exchange temporarily shifts to electronic trading because of the virus.
The decision to switch to electronic trading came after two people who work on the exchange tested positive for coronavirus. This will be the first time that the physical trading floor has ever closed independently while electronic trading continues. Stocks on Wall Street have plummeted in recent weeks in response to investor uncertainty surrounding the pandemic.
That's NPR's Windsor Johnston. President Trump is activating the National Guard in New York, California, and Washington state because of the coronavirus. They're the states with the largest number of confirmed cases. At the same time, the governors of Ohio, Delaware, and Louisiana are the latest to impose stay-at-home orders. The number of cruise ships and their passengers and crew remain stranded because of the coronavirus. Countries won't allow them into port for public health reasons. Bill Siebel, member station KERA, spoke with one passenger aboard a ship off the Falkland Islands.
Retired Dallas accountant Bruce Toplick booked a South American trip months ago to the Patagonian region. When he left Dallas March 10th to meet his 86-passenger ship in Argentina, COVID-19 was mostly a big concern in Asia and Italy. So he left, realizing now that people might question his judgment.
Some of the listeners may say, why are you an idiot? You should have stayed home. But at the time, things were not looking quite as bad. In 1 week, we went from everybody can do everything to don't go anywhere, stay home.
Toplick says no one on board is sick. They're tested every day. He hopes they can all disembark on Tuesday. I'm Bill Ziebel in Dallas.
This is NPR News from Washington.
Oh, honey, what a wonderful surprise. A dozen roses and chocolates, a candlelit dinner, and now champagne and strawberries by the fire. You're so romantic.
What do you say we get a little closer?
Igor? That's right, Igor here with the final ingredient for love.
Igor's lube?
Nothing gets things moving and grooving like my lube, and it prevents chafing. Thanks, Igor. And don't forget, Igor's lube now comes in cherry, mint, and salmon flavor.
Igor's lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Save her and bring her to me.
Welcome back to The Attack, everybody. The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I'm your host, Alien Stone, broadcasting to you from the other side of Planet Chaos, directly into your ear holes on Alien X Radio. UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network. And just to name a few of our fine affiliates in replay and syndication around the world, fantastic stations like 920 WON The Apple in New York, 27.7 The Stream in Chicago. Let's pick out a couple other ones here. 97.1 KGSP-FM, Get Smashed Radio in Seattle. And, of course, Western Reserve Digital Radio in, I believe, Youngstown, Ohio? I believe that's right. They're in Ohio. Thank you. Anybody that's listening on any one of these stations, give me a call, 313-444-8919, or you can use your Skype at AlienStone1. That's the number 1. Now, don't spell it out. You'll be wrong. AlienStone and the number 1 all together. That'll avoid any kind of charges or whatever, since you got that Skype going anyway. No, I'm not doing the video Skype. That's right. When you call, it's going to be just audio. I don't need to see all that. Okay? I don't need to see all that. Anyway, I do got to throw some more music into your vajir holes. Still coming up, we've got just a few questions from yesterday, the quarantine edition. Had 3 different people answering these questions, folks. We tried. There was. I'll tell you right now, too. I had 2 people on the phone, and during these questions, I had lots of calls coming in, and I think maybe it was because my computer was going down at the time. I don't know what the deal is, but 2 calls is all that would let me accept. Every time I tried to accept a 3rd call, it just hung up on them. So I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll just buy a bunch of brand spanking new cutting edge computers. How about I do that? Sure. Anybody want to buy a kidney? Anyway, let's get some more music into your vajir real quick, and then we'll come back with some punchlines. Yeah, that's right. There's actually funny things that are occurring in this world. You know, everything can't be all serious and freaked. Everybody can't be freaked out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be freaked out. You got to calm down a little bit. Okay? Everybody's just got to take a breath. Take a breath. Because we don't want to find you not breathing. By 6E. The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
girlfriend just crashed into me. Now she's not moving, she's not breathing. She's not breathing. She's not breathing.
Hi, this is Mike Farrell. You may remember me as BJ Honeycutt from MASH. Here I am on Alien X Radio.
Face to face, another misery. One by one, another tragedy. Don't look now, you can see it coming. Helter skelter, but we need that loving. Shame on me for feeling something. Danger right in front of my eyes. Look so innocent and play the victim, but you've got no alibi. Your love is like murder. The way you kiss is like a heart attack. Yeah, your love is like murder. Love like murder. Back and forth, never letting go. All tied up, a living horror show. I can't believe that we want this more. Every kiss is like going to war. Shame on me for feeling something. Danger right in front of my eyes. Look so innocent and play the victim, but you've got no alibi. Your love is like murder. The way you kiss is like a heart attack. Yeah, your love is like murder. The words you use are like a knife in the back. Your love is like a murder. Your love like murder. Your love like murder. Your love like murder.
I would never kill somebody, not unless they piss me off.
Don't look now, you can see it coming. Helter skelter, but we need that loving. Can't believe that we want this more. Every kiss is like going to war. Shame on me for feeling something. Danger right in front of my eyes. Look so innocent and play the victim, but you've got no alibi. Your love is like murder. The way you kiss is like a heart attack. Yeah, your love is like murder. The words you use are like a knife in the back. Your love is like a murder. Your love like murder. Your love like murder. Your love like murder.
With me now is Norman St. John Pole Vaulter, who for the last few years has been contradicting people. St. John Pole Vaulter, why do you contradict people?
I don't.
But you told me that you did.
I most certainly did not.
Oh, I see. I'll start again.
No, you won't.
I understand you don't contradict people.
Yes, I do.
And when didn't you start contradicting them?
I did, in 1952.
1952?
1947.
23 years ago.
No!
Hello and welcome to Man Law. I'm your host, Judge Man. You've been read your rights. I have read your complaints and emails. The first case up on the docket today is Daniel, who sends me an email from Texas. He wants to know, hey, Judge Man, I've been married for 5 years. Over the course of that time, my wife has managed to take over every closet in the house. What can I do to get some of that space back? Signed, Daniel. Well, Daniel, let me tell you this. That is a common problem that we have. Everyone, whether you're married or not, women automatically take over the damn closet. Well, it's your job as a man to take it back over. What you need to do is go out to ACO or Ace or your local hardware store. Get yourself one of those super heavy-duty, ultra-large, hefty bags. You bring that back to the house and you grab every piece of clothing that you've never seen her ever wear, which is probably most of it. Ball that all up, stick it into that bag, and take it on out to the shed. And now, boys and girls, it's time for today's list of things that real men just don't do. Number 1. Real men don't carry umbrellas. Are you gonna melt? Is your perm gonna get messed up, Mary? Number 2, they don't get manicures either. Number 3, they especially don't get pedicures. Men's toes are supposed to be nasty. Number 4, real men don't wear pink. I don't care what cause you're walking for. And the last thing on today's list, real men don't drink fruity drinks. That's right, guys. If it's called a mango anything, then you're called a fairy. This has been Judge Man with Man Law.
You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
The house is now on fire.
All right, folks, it is now time for the punchlines. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. They will be staying open for your emergency needs, whether it be your furnace, your ductwork, your air conditioner, whatever it may be. They will be open and there for you. It's Freedom Heating and Cooling. Get hold of Eric at 313-920-2325 or call Dave at 248-345-8196. You can email them at freedomheatcool@gmail.com and look for them on Facebook. That's Facebook, Freedom Heat Cool. And they will be staying open. Like I said, that's Freedom Heating and Cooling. All right, so let's get this underway. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Zerdan. That's this cat's name. And, of course, it's got to be spelled with the X and all kinds of crazy stuff. Zerdan, the Sphinx cat, becomes Internet's new spirit animal. That whole thing just sounds weird to me, but whatever. A hairless feline from Switzerland. Boy, this thing is just all over the place. We got a Sphinx, Zerdan, I don't know what that's all about. And then spirit animal makes me think Native American. And now we're going Switzerland. This is all over the place. So a hairless feline from Switzerland is gaining fans for its extreme looks and winning personality. So it's one of those hairless cats. It's all wrinkly. Ugh, who wants to pet one of those things? You know, like if it was laying there next to you and you forgot it was there and you were like watching TV or whatever and you stretched and you reached over and you touched it, you'd probably jump. You'd be like, what's that? Oh. Sorry, Zerdan. I thought it was a stranger next to me and I touched his elbow or genitals. Okay? Gross cats. Anyway, SOS. You know, ... dash, 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 ... Or should I say ... dash, 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 ... Is that how I'm supposed to say it? Okay. Florida State, they want to remove a state law that regulates the telegraph. Okay. You want to regulate the telegraph. The Florida Senate Republican a Republican governor a bill on Thursday that removes an entire chapter of state law regulating the telegraph industry, including $50 penalties for not promptly delivering messages. So, telegrams. Okay? When was the last time you sent or received a message via telegram? Well, according to Florida, they're going to make it so there's no more laws around that. So you can just do whatever you want. So all you people that are trying to get free messages sent out, go pick yourself up a telegraph, figure out how to hook it up to whatever you got to hook it up to. I don't know. While you're at it, other things that might not be regulated for forms of communication, let's try smoke signals. You could build a fire. Okay, yeah, smoke signals might be good. And also very, very long strings with cans attached on both ends. Those are also just about as good now. Yes, and then all of the stuff can be just thrown into a pile of ancient technology that we no longer need. So let's go ahead and regulate 8-track players and checkbooks while we're at it as well. Come on, folks. A long time ago, somebody did the same thing. Like, I'm trying to apply for something. I can't remember what it was. And they were like, "Yes, you can just send us a fax." I was like, "A fax? A fax? What is this? 1991? Fax? What are you talking about?" And that's what I said. I might as well just get rid of the station and do smoke signals. But according to Florida, that'll be unregulated along with your telegraph. So, any other forms of communication? Telepathy. Yes, is that one? Telepathy? Is that one where you just like think something and another person thinks it? I don't know. But hey, folks, that's been the punchlines. Brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. All right, folks, we are just about 7 or 8 minutes away from the end of hour number 1. Remember, folks, if you're listening in on Alien X Radio, UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, or Paranormal Junkyard Radio, we are live right now. 313-444-8919 is the numbers. We are going to be going to a short break here momentarily, though. That's right. So don't get too excited about calling in right this second. You can always just chill for a minute. Okay? Just chill. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back. I got to inform you of what's going on in the world, too, right? I can't skip a news break, right? We can't skip a news break because there's 2 things that are going on there. One, we're trying to get information to you. Number 2, actually, I'm going to go through a bunch of things. Number 1, we're trying to get information to you. Number 2, the information is in there somewhere, buried amongst all of the misinformation. But we can't somehow get anybody to sort that all out and give you just the good information. So we need you to sift through it. But in order for you to sift through it, we have to dump it all into your lap. That sound about right? Sound about right? But if we don't give you some kind of information, you're just going to go to Facebook and read whatever everybody's posting, which is crazy. Sending out some shout-outs to everybody that's been checking out the Facebook feed. Chris Hall, he's in the chat portion of the Facebook feed as we speak right now. You may know him as a guitar extraordinaire in the band Concrete Angels. He tends to rock your face off just a little bit. I'm saying. Also, we got Jacqueline hanging out in there, Shannon, Jan, Mark, Steve Fidelcheck. Wow! Steve, there's a blast from the past. Steve Fidelcheck. Are you Master Fidelcheck yet? I don't even know. I haven't seen you in like a long, long time. No, I'm not talking about like master kind of thing, like leather masks and stuff. I'm talking about martial arts, okay? Calm down, perverts. Calm down just a little bit. Okay. Oh, there goes that music. That music is telling me that it's just about time for a break. News update for you. Just a few questions still on the way. Music for your ear holes. And we're going to go over, once again, some of these companies that are going to actually benefit and profit during the entire shutdown. Because, boy, there's not many of them, right? But these are industries that are based on you staying home. We'll talk about that when we come back here on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast. from outer space. Alien X Radio, UG Media, WCET FM, Line City Radio, and Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network.
In the Senate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
This is a public health crisis. It is inexplicable to skimp on funding to address the pandemic.
Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says the nearly $2 trillion bill they're considering to deal with the coronavirus epidemic and the economic fallout lacks money for states and cities and hospitals and includes a corporate bailout with no oversight or protections from workers. So a vote to move forward failed.
Our good friends on the other side would not have been disadvantaged one bit if this vote had succeeded, because it would have required potentially 30 more hours of discussion.
Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell will try with votes again today. The bill includes checks to Americans up to $1,200 based on income levels and money or loans for small businesses. 5 Republican senators aren't there to vote, including Rand Paul, who's now the first confirmed coronavirus patient in the Senate. That led to other senators who had close contact self-quarantining.
I call it the hidden enemy. And I think they'll all be fine. I hope they're going to be fine.
As President Trump in the U.S., there are more than 35,000 coronavirus cases. The stalemate in Congress could lead to more selling. On Wall Street, Dow futures down more than 600. The sports world is shut down. No games, races, tournaments, but the Olympics are still on. Though some don't want to go, Fox's Simon Owen has an update live.
Dave, Canada and Australia are becoming the first countries to say they won't send teams to Tokyo this summer.
The Australian Olympic team could not be assembled in the changing circumstances both here and abroad.
Australian Olympic chief Matt Carroll saying his athletes will instead prepare for a Games next year. Japan's Prime Minister saying today if the Olympics can't be held in a complete way, a postponement would be unavoidable. The International Olympic Committee says it's considering a delay with a decision expected in the next 4 weeks. Dave?
America's listening to Fox News.
Me and my lady want to get busy tonight. What do you recommend? Igor's Lube. I got my fist stuck in a gravy boat. Any ideas on how I can get it out? Igor's Lube.
The hinges on my cabinet doors are squeaky. What should I use?
Igor's Lube.
I got dry, flaky elbows.
Igor's Lube.
Okay, but what if I'm being held hostage by a supervillain in an underground lair with a ticking time bomb and only seconds left until detonation? What would save me then, huh?
Igor's Lube.
That's right. Everything is smoother with Igor's Lube.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done?
Look at the turning wheel.
The Alignment, the latest CD from The Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water. Beg for mercy and Under the Blade. Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
Feel Good Firing's the place to call when you really want to make yourself feel big by firing somebody. We provide you with an unsuspecting loser who you can hire, then turn around and fire. But Feel Good Firing services go beyond just satisfying your little hissy fits. We'll give you someone you can pin the blame on the next time you spend the whole company payroll on hookers and blow. So when you screw up, don't take the blame. Just pass the buck. Call Feel Good Firings and we'll take the blame, the shame, and the indictments away.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like.
It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Welcome, everybody. It's hour number 2 of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. So the reports that I'm getting is that the audio is perfectly fine as far as it is on the radio stations. Where we're having an issue is on the Facebook feed. So I need somebody to go over to the YouTube feed now and see how that sounds so that we can figure out that it's actually just Facebook and their funky junk. I don't know. It could also be this crappy computer that I got to run the video on, which is that's the audio. It's going to the video that they're talking about, so it could be that as well. I don't know. But either way, it'll be taken care of. Do what we have to. I'll buy a supercomputer. How about that? As soon as somebody buys one of my kidneys, I'll have some money, and then I'll buy a supercomputer. Broadcasting to you live from the other side of Planet Chaos on Alien X Radio, UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network. And got confirmation, actually, that we do sound pretty good on their station right now. So, we know it ain't their fault. 920 WO in the Apple in New York City, New York. Also, United Talk Radio, Connecticut. IRN Internet Radio Network in Florida, and the Mile High Radio in Colorado. I love that Mile High Radio in Colorado. It's got double meaning. It does. Just saying. Especially if that station has a club. Get it? This hour being brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. Look for them on Facebook and I have a website for them. I don't. Email them at freedomheatcool@gmail.com. They will be open and available for all of your furnace needs and heating and cooling needs throughout this entire pandemic and freak out session that the country seems to be having at this time. So, anyway, that all being said, let's go ahead and throw some more music into your ear holes. And we'll come back. I don't know, maybe we'll take a trip to Italy. Yes, we'll play some Mr. Fluffball first. Then we'll play Mechanical Butterfly from Italy. And then we'll actually take a trip to Italy for story time. Let's do all that right here on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
I
is Francesca from Mechanical Butterfly, and you're listening to Alien X Radio.
Times that I've wasted
get over this whole jealousy thing.
Hello, and welcome to Storytime. I'm your host, Alien Stone. Today's story takes us to the pearly gates of heaven, where we find three Italian gentlemen standing with St. Peter. Having all died at the exact same moment, and there being only one opening in heaven, St. Peter has to determine which one will enter.
Hey, where are we? It's so cloudy, I cannot see.
I can't see any street lights or landmarks.
Oh, we could be dead.
Dead? What do you mean dead? We could be dead. Well, actually, I guess I could be dead. Welcome, gentlemen. You have arrived at the gates of heaven. Oh, but I see there has been a bit of a mix. You see, there is only room in heaven for one, and you are three. It means I can only allow one of you to enter the kingdom of heaven. Sadly, that means that the other two will have to remain here outside the gates in limbo forever.
To be clear, you said forever?
Yes, forever. I'm sorry, did you say forever? Did I stutter? But how will I decide?
St. Peter thought for a moment and came up with the answer.
I will ask each of you to tell me the story of your death. The one with the most interesting tale to tell will gain entry to heaven.
The men looked at each other nervously, but agreed. St. Peter pointed at the first man.
You will go first. Tell me, how did you die?
The first man stepped forward and, while putting on his best sorry face, began to tell his tale.
Well, St. Peter, this is my story. I work hard my whole life. On one day, I feel like I want to go home a little early. I don't feel so good. So I decided I'm going to go home a little early. So St. Peter, when I arrive at the house, I open up at the door and I walk inside. And what do I find inside of my apartment? I find my wife. My wife is lying in the bed, and she is naked, St. Peter. She is naked in the bed, St. Peter, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, why would my wife be naked in the bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? So I think to myself, St. Peter, St. Peter, my wife, she's cheating on me. So I know that somewhere inside of this apartment is a guy, because she is still naked. So the guy is in this apartment somewhere. So St. Peter, I said to myself, I'm going to find this guy, and I'm going to make him pay for messing with my wife. So St. Peter, I started looking around for him. So St. Peter, the first place I look is under the bed. St. Peter, there is no room under the bed. I cannot find it. There's nobody under the bed. So St. Peter, I say, maybe he's hiding inside of the closet. So St. Peter, I go over to the closet and I swing the door open to the closet, and St. Peter, all of my wives' shoes come tumbling down and pouring down on the top of me. There's nothing in the closet but my wife's shoes. She's got a ton of shoes, a ton of shoes, all piled up in the closet. So St. Peter, he was not inside of the closet. So St. Peter, I go over and I look out of the window, and St. Peter, outside, hanging from the windowsill, was this guy. That's right, there was a guy hanging from the windowsill. So St. Peter, I get mad. So St. Peter, I go and I get a stick. And St. Peter, I take a stick and I start smacking him in the knuckles with a stick. I say, you messing with my wife. And he says, no, I no messing with your wife. Stop hitting me with a stick. And I say, no. And St. Peter, he don't fall. He's still hanging on to the windowsill. So St. Peter, I get really mad. So St. Peter, what I do next, I get out onto the windowsill. St. Peter, I standing out on the windowsill. And St. Peter, I am so mad. I started jumping up and down on his hands. And St. Peter, he just screaming and screaming. He say, stop jumping up and down on my hands. And I say, St. Peter, I say, no. I say, no, you messing with my wife. And he don't fall. He don't fall. So St. Peter, I get really mad. So St. Peter, I go back inside of the apartment. And I go and I grab the refrigerator. So St. Peter, I take the refrigerator and I drag the refrigerator across the room. And St. Peter, I turn it on its side and I push it out of the window. And just as it's about to fall out of the window, St. Peter, the leg on the refrigerator, it grab a hold of my belt. And St. Peter, when I let go, it'll pull me. And St. Peter, it'll pull me out of the window. And I fall, St. Peter, and that is how I die.
When he had finished, the man fell silent again and stepped back with the others. St. Peter was stunned after hearing the first man's story. But after a moment, he turned to the second man, asking him the same question.
Now you will tell me your story.
The second man stepped forward, and while giving the first man the evil eye, he began to tell the tale of his death.
St. Peter, here is my story. I work hard my whole life. I don't bother nobody. I keep it to myself and I work hard. I'm an honest man. St. Peter, I started working for the window washing company, St. Peter, and I work my way up. And now, St. Peter, I own my own window washing company. So, St. Peter, I was just working. I was minding my own business. I was out of washing a window. I was hanging onto the scaffolding. And St. Peter, the wind started blowing. And St. Peter, the wind started blowing in the scaffolding. It started to move in side to side. But St. Peter, I'm no scared because I've been a window washer. I've been a window washer my whole life. So I am no scared. So St. Peter, I lean out and I continue to wash the window. But St. Peter, the rope, it is all afraid. I know, not scared, afraid. So it is afraid of ropes, St. Peter. So it starts to come undone. And St. Peter, it let it go. And St. Peter, the side of the scaffolding, it'll fall down. And St. Peter, I started to fall. But I reach out, St. Peter, and I grab a hold of the rope. And now I'm hanging onto the rope, St. Peter. I'm hanging onto the rope, and I'm saying to God, don't let me fall. And St. Peter, the wind is blowing, and I'm swinging it back and forth. But St. Peter, as I said, the rope, it was afraid. So St. Peter, it come undone. And St. Peter, I fall. But when I grace the God, St. Peter, I reach out and I grab a hold of a windowsill. And St. Peter, I'm hanging onto the windowsill saying, oh, please, don't let me fall. But then St. Peter, this crazy man, he comes up to the window and he says, what are you doing out of my windowsill and what are you doing with my wife? And I said, no, I'm not messing with your wife. I'm falling, I hang up to the windowsill. But no, St. Peter, he starts hitting me with a stick. St. Peter, this man, he started hitting me in my hands with a stick, but no, I hang on to the windowsill. I continue to hang on to the windowsill, St. Peter. But then St. Peter, he comes back, and he climbs out onto the windowsill, and he starts jumping up and down on my hand. He said, you're messing with my wife. I said, no, I am not messing with your wife. Please stop jumping down on my hands. I try to hang on to the windowsill. And then St. Peter, he go back inside, and I think, oh, now is my time. I should climb up and get inside. But no, St. Peter. Then, come out of the window was the refrigerator. A refrigerator come out of the window. And St. Peter, it pushing me off the windowsill, and I fall. And St. Peter, that is how I die.
After telling St. Peter his story, he stepped back with the others, punching the first man in the arm. St. Peter, again, could not believe his ears. After a moment, he turned to the third man.
Is your story more interesting than those? If so, you could gain entry to the kingdom of heaven. Just tell me your story.
The third man walked up to St. Peter, leaned his elbow on the podium, and began to explain the manner of his death.
Hey, St. Peter, check it out. These guys, they work hard all their lives. I don't work hard. Okay, I work smart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, St. Peter? Okay. I'm a gigolo, okay? All right? I'm a gigolo. So get this. I'm all hanging out over my girlfriend's house, right? And, we're getting it on, and we've been getting it on, and it's all sweaty and hot and heavy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, St. Peter? You know how it goes. Anyway, I'm about ready to paint the town white, if you know what I'm saying, right? Well, anyway, all of a sudden, we then hear some keys rustling around at the front door, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think you do. So this bitch tells me, she goes, hey, that's my husband coming home early, right? So I'm like, no, we can't have that, right? Because like I said, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So she said, well, you better hide someplace because my husband's got a gun. And if he catches you in here messing around with me, he's going to shoot you. So I'm like, oh, hell no. So anyway, so she says, hey, you got to hide, right? So hey, check this out. She says, hide under the bed. So we go over to the bed. I lift up the covers and look, and guess what? There's not enough room under the bed. You know what I'm saying? Because she's got one of them low profile mattresses, you know what I'm saying? And there's no room for you to get underneath there. But, you know, it's good for when you want to jump up in the bed, you know what I'm saying? But it's not so good for when you want to hide underneath it. So anyway, so what we did then is she goes, hey, real quick, man, you know, he's on the third lock. Because, you know, it's a bad neighborhood. Thank goodness for that. Anyway, she's like, you got to hide inside the closet, right? So we go over to the closet, and I start to creep open the closet, and I hear boom, all this stuff starting to hit the door, right? And I look, and it stacks. I look through the crack, and there's like stacks of like all kinds of shoes and stuff in there. And I'm like, there's no room for me in there. Why would you tell me to hide in the closet, bitch? You know you got all that shit in there. So I went ahead and I closed the door the rest of the way. I'm like, what are we going to do now? And she's like, hey, why don't you get out on the ledge? I'm like, out on the ledge, the windowsill? Are you out of your off mind? And she's like, no, I'm telling you, that's the best place. So I go and I look, and I'm like, hell no, that's a skinny little ledge, man. I can't stand on that. I don't think so. So I'm like, what can I possibly do here, man? You know, I don't know what else to do. So you know what? I'm looking around. I can't get underneath the bed. I can't get inside the closet. I can't sit out on the windowsill. So guess what, St. Peter? Check this out. I hid, get this, inside the refrigerator.
The third man looked at the first man with confusion.
I mean, really, who throws the refrigerator through the window? Huh?
Well, we may never know which man St. Peter led into heaven that day, but we do know the moral of this story is, if you cheat on your husband, sell your shoes and stock the damn refrigerator. This has been Storytime with me, your host, Alien Stone.
Oh, yeah, a little story time there for you folks. See, I actually made that many, many years ago and thought it got lost. And then I found it again. You ever did that? Had something that you really liked and you lost it, and then a long time later you find it again? It's amazing, right? Also, I want to put this out there for all of our listeners on all of our stations, because I'm getting hit with a lot of phone calls right now, and that's great. I love that. I really, really want to talk to all of you. But here's the situation. I can only answer the phone when you hear me talking on the air. When it's a talking segment, I'm not playing music, I'm not playing commercials, I'm not playing something pre-recorded, then I can answer the phone. But that's the only time I can answer the phone. If I was to answer the phone while music is playing, everybody would hear you and I talking over the music. If I had answered the phone during that segment there, which I call story time, they would have heard you and I talking in the middle of the story. It's a technical issue that I have here in the station. It's my fault. I have to get yet another computer. I've got one that just died, and I had to replace my video computer. So maybe when I get the new supercomputer to be my video computer, this computer will become the Skype computer. I don't know. So we do have to take a short break here at the bottom of the hour because our affiliates do require us to take commercial breaks at certain times. But when we come back with hour number 2, with the second half of the show, second half of hour number 2, the Alien X lines will be open. Whenever you hear me talking on the microphone, that means the Alien X lines are open and you can call in. Like right now, the phone is ringing. You're inside the mothership for the attack. Who's this?
This is Jamie from Into the TARDIS.
Jamie from where?
Into the TARDIS.
Into the TARDIS. What's up?
Yeah, nothing much. What do you think about the coronavirus? Truly think about the coronavirus?
I think it is a horrible thing, but it's portraying the role of something more horrible than it actually is.
Do you think they're going to call the martial laws?
I certainly hope they do not, but I miscalled a lot of things. You know, I didn't think that the hype was going to get as big as it did. I didn't think that the reactions were going to be as big as they were. So I've been wrong a lot. I don't think it's going to, but like I said, I've been wrong consistently.
So one thing is, I believe that they're going to have martial laws because a couple of days ago there was this military craft that come over the top of my grandmother's house, and it was pretty low, and it was carrying about 36 men coming through Alabama.
Wow. Yeah.
And then in Montgomery, they had 42 Army tanks going somewhere in Alabama.
See, I get lots of reports. You know what I'm saying? I do. I get lots of reports. I work with somebody who told me he was given passes at work that were to get past police checkpoints. But at the same time, though, I had to take into account what he does for a living and what I do for a living, and quite frankly, I would have gotten one before him. And so, I mean, I don't know what to believe. I know that a lot of National Guard's been brought into a lot of different areas to help out with a lot of different things. Maybe that's what we're seeing. I don't know. But like I said, I've been consistently wrong, so you're really talking to the wrong person if you want to get like good information about this.
Well, I was just throwing out my opinion and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I always welcome people to call me and bring out topics and things to talk about because any information is good information. We have to sift through it and pick and choose, I guess, what we can believe.
Right.
You know, so you're bringing up a perspective I didn't have.
Yeah, and I found out from Italy there are dead bodies laying all over the streets from Italy.
Wow, that's
because they had enough beds in the hospital.
I honestly don't know what to say to that. You know, I mean, could it be happening? Sure, certainly it could be happening. You know that they got.
I mean, it's crazy.
Absolutely, it's crazy. Absolutely, it's crazy. You know, it's unprecedented that of a response. You know, we have had obviously diseases in the past that were bigger and nastier, but the response is unprecedented. You know.
Right.
I don't know what to say. You know, to all this, our governor here in Michigan just extended the shutdown for the restaurants through the 12th, I believe, of next month. So, you know, she's extending that, and I'm pretty sure that when we get to that, she's going to do it again. You know, she's just going to keep pushing it and extending it as long as she can. Whether or not it's needed, we'll see. We'll see if it has the effect that she's trying to get.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what can we do other than wash our hands and be careful? You know, what can I say? And try not to be nasty to people.
Right.
That's the hard part, right? You know, try not to be nasty to people. It seems like that seems to be the challenge that our society has anymore.
Right, because you can't even go into Walmart and get toilet paper. I mean, what about these old veterans and stuff that was in the wars and stuff? What are they going to do if they can't go into Walmart and get toilet paper and nobody else has it? What are they going to do?
Absolutely. I completely understand. You know, I've seen plenty of videos of people that are at Walmart trying to get something, and they bring out a pallet, and everybody swarms it like zombies on, you know, it's like ridiculous. And they're just grabbing and they're punching each other or knocking each other out of the way. And it's like, you know, it's toilet paper. The human beings on this planet lived for many, 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 many years without toilet paper. And quite frankly, I know as inconvenient as it may be to run out, you will be able to adapt and survive without it. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to kill anybody over it.
Right. You could always use napkins or socks.
Something, right, exactly. I said, you can always use washcloths, and then what do you do with them? You wash them, because before we had disposable diapers for kids, they were rewashable diapers. They were cloth diapers. What's the difference?
Right. There's not really a difference.
Is it gross and inconvenient? Certainly, but we'll make it. We'll make it.
Right.
All right. Well, I certainly
But
hope
when
that
I
you-
was,
Go ahead.
well, sorry. I was listening to you on YouTube, and it was, like, really bad. It was, like, skipping in and out really, really bad, and the volume's really low.
Yeah, it's the computer that I have that runs the video over to YouTube and to Facebook, it died on me a couple weeks ago, and this is not a good computer that I hooked up here for this. So yeah, it's probably just not able to push through the audio and the video. It's just not strong enough to do it. So I'll have that replaced pretty soon. But obviously the regular feed on all the stations, it sounds pretty good, and it's nice and consistent.
Right. But I hope you have a wonderful day.
I hope you do too.
And I'll
Be
talk
safe.
to you later.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Chiming in from Alabama. Got some reports there, helicopters and tanks. And then she's got reports coming into her from Italy of bodies in the streets. So, wow. I don't know what to say. I really, really just truly don't know what to say to any of that. I do know that we have to take a break. We're a little bit over time for that. But I did not want to stop that conversation. So let's go ahead and take a short break, pause in the action for station identification. And we're going to give you some news. Whether it's true or not, true news, I don't know. Go nowhere. We'll be back right after this with more of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. President Trump is promising to help Americans who feel afraid and isolated as the coronavirus spreads. But lawmakers argued late into the night about a rescue package.
The Senate voted against advancing the new $2 trillion bill, with Chuck Schumer's Democrats arguing it's partly a slush fund for big corporations,
with no protections for workers,
whom he says need the most help right now, along with healthcare workers. GOP Chief Mitch McConnell warns Democrats their vote is costing more American jobs.
Our nation cannot afford the game of chicken.
President Trump says they will come together.
To me, it's not very complicated. We have to help the worker. We have to save the companies.
More of which are laying off workers as the virus death toll rises. Stock futures dropped sharply even as the president spoke yesterday evening. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Economists say as many as 3 million Americans probably applied for unemployment last week. Experts predict 7 million jobs will be lost from April to June because the virus is shutting down businesses. There is a slight ray of hope from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
As testing has increased in places like Broward and Dade, we have seen more overall cases, but the percentage of people who test positive have declined.
In New York, a new state order is taking effect requiring all non-essential employees to stay home. Gatherings of individuals of any size for any reason that are not essential are also being canceled or postponed. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky is the first senator to announce that he has tested positive for the virus. German Chancellor Angela Merkel went into quarantine after a doctor who treated her tested positive for the coronavirus. This is AP News.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
And now your weekly sports update with the Prospect.
Hello everybody, Prospect here with the weekly sports update on Alien X Radio. You heard me right, folks. Amid the coronavirus pandemic, it is my duty to give you the latest news in the ever so slowly turning sports world. And wouldn't you know it, there's actually a sport being played as we speak. So for the time being, and for those interested, here's highlights for the AFL, or the Australian Football League. It has been announced on their official website that the league will still survive through the worldwide pandemic and will play all their games in a seemingly back-to-back format. As expected, all their games will be played behind closed doors, and games will be postponed the moment a player or staff member is diagnosed with the virus. 3 games were played on Saturday, starting with the GWS Giants defeating the Geelong Cats 105-73. Port Adelaide Power blanked the Gold Coast Suns in the fourth quarter on their way to a 76-29 victory, and the Sydney Swans just barely edged the Adelaide Crowns 74-71. Mind you, these are football scores. Back here at home, the world is struggling to return to normalcy, but that doesn't mean that the leagues can't make moves in their offseason. The NFL has been the hot topic of late, with their free agency season kicking off and already delivering some blockbuster signings. Todd Gurley, after being cut by the LA Rams, signed with the Falcons for a 1-year deal. HaHa Clinton Dix has reached a deal with the Dallas Cowboys for a 1-year, $4 million contract. Clinton Dix will be reunited with head coach Mike McCarthy, who was his coach in Green Bay. But as interesting as all those signings were, nothing compared to the new home of Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of all the teams to sign for, number 12 picks the Bucs to continue his legacy. Now, some are saying that this is a jackpot for the NFC South team that hasn't been successful in recent years. Others are saying that the quarterback's choice of team reminds them of the waning years of Michael Jordan's career when he signed with the Washington Wizards back in 2001. I will tell you this, once the sport is back on, nothing in the NFL will be the same. Well, tune in next week for more sports. For Alien X Radio, I'm the Prospect. Say until next time, Prospect out.
Your balls are filthy. Go to the ball washer, now.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done?
Look at the turning. The Alignment, the latest CD from The Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water. Beg for mercy and Under the Blade. Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vajir holes. You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the attack. We are now in the second half of the broadcast. That's right, you didn't even feel that turn. We might be screaming through the galaxy at triple redunculous speeds, but those inertia cancelers are canceling, and the gravitational plates are gravitating, and the deflector array is keeping its social distances. Again, as I pointed out during a call with a listener from Alabama, I've been wrong consistently through this whole thing, but I don't think I don't know if I can say I've been wrong about the infection or the virus. I think I've been wrong about the response. You know, I think I was saying, well, they're not going to do that, and then they did it. Oh, they're not going to do that, and then they did it. And they're not going to do that, and then they did it. So here I am saying they're not going to do this, and they just might do it. So I don't know. Usually I'm fairly decent at predicting stuff, but I guess not when it... I guess the sane mind has trouble predicting what insanity is going to do. You know? What can I say? The orchestrated has trouble with the chaotic. Has trouble communicating with it and understanding it. Has trouble understanding the absence of control, the absence of I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Anyway, it's a virus, okay? Just like the flu, but plus. It's the flu plus. Speaking of the flu, this portion of the show is being brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. They will be available throughout this entire thing for your emergency needs, for your heating and cooling needs. Get a hold of Eric at 313-920-2325 or Dave at 248-345-8196. You can email them at freedomheatcool@gmail.com and check them out on Facebook. Facebook, Freedom Heat Cool. They will be staying, as I said, in service throughout this entire thing. It's Freedom Heating and Cooling. And like I said, you can get a hold of Dave. And speaking of Dave, he is also the drummer of a band that happens to be called The Flu. That's right. So here it is, a tune called Options by The Flu on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
You have one 2-year subscription of bad puns. It's a makeshift story of concerns as you set it up. Watch it burn. My opinions, 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 opinions. Be a problem here instead of emotion. Seeks to fear in the rise and fall. Lest we stopped and we haven't made a single drop. My opinions, 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 opinions. Problem here instead of emotion. Seeks to fear the rise and fall. At last we've stopped and we haven't made a single drop. My opinions, 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 opinions,
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
There is a place in the desert where the rain sounds very nervy, knocking and dripping, knocking and dripping. As tears are gathered through rusty, broken stars, and it fills up, and it fills up. The rusty boilers and the walls lie down, coated in wandering yellowish brown. The joy they make up desert oblivion, lasting forever in cosmic pavilion. It's dripping, knocking and dripping. Yeah, it's dripping, knocking and dripping. Rusty boilers tend to conceal the love to people that the desert appeal. The silent tears they sacrifice for peace, a beautiful house and a good night's kiss, and it's dripping, knocking and dripping. Yeah, it's dripping, knocking and dripping. Rusty boilers they left behind, gotta be on the road at night. Two people, silence and tears, overload and freeze and fear and dripping, knocking and dripping. Yeah, it's dripping, knocking and dripping.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
All right, folks. Welcome back to the attack, folks. Unprecedented times we are in the midst of right now. I don't know. You know, they say when it rains, it pours, man. Things just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. I am now getting unconfirmed reports that will be confirmed, I'm assuming, within about 9 minutes or so at the top of the hour. This should be confirmed. I am currently broadcasting from the Detroit area in Michigan, and it is expected that 11 o'clock, Governor Whitmer is going to go live. It is expected that she is going to give a stay-at-home order. I'm 48 years old, folks. I've never seen anything like what we've already seen, let alone anything like this. So we get calls from Alabama saying there's tanks and helicopters. And now we know that other states have already done this. Said you have to stay at home. You have to stay at home. Well, I have questions about all of this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so you close the restaurants, I get it. But we could go get to the drive-thrus to get something to eat. But if you're going to tell us now that we have to stay at home, what about the people that weren't able to get food yet because of all of the hoarders and the opportunists that were out there emptying the grocery stores? So if you're going to tell us that we have to stay at home and we didn't get any food and now we can't also go to the drive-thrus anymore because we have to stay at home, I can only imagine. I mean, we're going to have to obviously tune in to see what the hell she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to figure this out. So I'm going to have to find some kind of a way to go live with that as well. I don't know how I can do that here with my limited technology that I have. But I'm going to definitely try to figure it out. I mean, I have a link where it's supposed to be happening. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's see. Let me send this on over. This is unprecedented, people. So, yeah, I'm going to take just a moment here to do some stuff. Maybe I'll switch back over to some kind of music or something for a minute here while I try to figure this out. Because I would like to bring this this conference live if there's some way I can do it. She's supposed to go on in about 6 minutes or so. So let's see. What am I going to play in the meantime? I have no idea. Let's Sailing the Seas. Sailing the... Dang it. The sea. Okay, there we go. This instrumental can't get me in trouble. All right, Kevin Estrella with Sailing the Oceans of Neptune while I try to sort this all out and bring you the live press conference from Governor Whitmer at 11 o'clock. I'm going to try to do that. If we can't, then, hey, we'll be back with business as usual. What can I tell you? It's the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. And that word mad is loosely used right now because we've actually seen the madness. right, folks, I have not been able to get the YouTube video up as far as being able to run the video. However, I think I might be able to get the audio. According to this, I think we got 2 minutes. It's not letting me unmute this thing. It's so weird that it won't let me unmute it. I don't know what to do, folks. I'm trying to get this live feed for you. We're gonna have to sign off of the YouTube feed and stuff right now because I need to get this audio going. So, folks, head over to alienxradio.com.